Alright guys, Epic fucking Slayers here, and in today's video I want to talk to you about the best weapons in 1.6 for PvP, and more specifically, what are my favourite weapons and why they top my list. If you enjoy this content guys, then hit the like button and let's try and do 150 likes in this video. If you are new to my channel and enjoy my content, then subscribe for more, and let's get straight into the video guys. So guys, the first gun I want to talk about is my favourite gun in PvP right now and my favourite gun in the game right now, and that is the Urban MDR. It looks absolutely beautiful, and it's had a bit of a major transformation, to be completely honest. In 1.5 it was okay, but it wasn't strong. In 1.6 it is so good, guys. Honestly, if you've not got one, then grind for it, because you're going to need one. Now, the reason why this gun has changed so much is in 1.6 the damage itself was increased by 65%, guys, which is massive. The base damage on this Urban MDR is very, very strong. Mine currently is 58.3 K with a firearms of 7963, so very, very high. Now, the damage drop off on the MDR is barely any. It's got very, very good range. It's kind of like a sniper rifle in that respect, but it shoots faster. And the actual bloom on the reticle for the MDR isn't too bad at all, and you can shoot very fast with it as a semi-automatic weapon. Now, the major talent, or the main sort of exotic talent for this weapon, is called Distracted. Now, your damage is increased by 18% against targets with status effects, so it's a very, very, very strong talent. Very good with Firecrest, where you've got your turret, and it also synergizes well with the Firecrest 4-piece, which gives you that damage buff for when targets are on fire. I believe it's 15%, but I could be wrong. Again, it's also very good with the high-end build with the Skull MC gloves, where you get 16% sort of base, sort of flat damage. So if you add 16% plus the enemy has a status effect, for example, shocked or on fire or whatever it might be, then you're getting 16% plus 18% from the Distracted talent. You get an extra 34% on top of the base damage, which on my weapon is already 58.3. You're getting a lot of damage, guys. So you can see why the MDR is very, very strong right now. As I said, it's not easy to control, pretty easy to be honest, guys. In PvP, it bursts really well if you've got a good trigger finger. Or if you're on PC, then if you can use, you can use the mouse wheel, where, you know, it shoots very, very fast. The MDR, in my opinion, is the best PvP weapon over every weapon. To be honest, it's stronger for burst than any weapon in the game right now, and also for sustain. It's very, very good, guys. If you don't have one, then definitely check it out. Best weapon in the game right now, hands down. Moving on, guys, and we probably have my favourite gun in the game, and has been since day one, and that's the AUG A3 Para XS, or any AUG variant. For example, the A3P, which I believe actually looks better than the A3 Para XS. The reason I love the AUG so much is for various reasons. And for me personally, this is the best SMG in the game. I prefer it over most assault rifles, apart from maybe the M4. And let's just get into the reasons exactly why I love this weapon so much. As I play on Xbox, stability is kind of a problem sometimes. So the AUG fortunately has very, very good stability, unlike the Vector or the MP7, for example, or the MP5 actually as well. And it also has very good sort of base damage. I believe it has the highest base damage of all SMGs. So that's very, very good. Obviously, to compensate for it being, you know, what could be overpowered, the RPM is lowered compared to the MP5 or the MP7. But that doesn't matter too much. The mag size is good. You're looking at about 50 in the mag with a 100% extended mag, which is more than the MP7, and I think it's around about the same for the MP5. So why do I love this over the MP7 and the MP5? For me, the MP5 doesn't feel quite right in PvP. It kind of is sort of the middle ground between the AUG and the MP7. The MP7 obviously has quite a bit of recoil. You kind of want to be within sort of the responsive range, the 10 meter range, and it's got very high burst damage. You know, if you hit all those bullets in one, then you're probably dropping a player. Whereas the AUG has a little bit slower rate of fire. It does a lot more damage. It's got better range. I believe the sort of optimal range is about 18 meters on the AUG, so you know that's still very good. It's good up close, but it's also got that little bit of range. Obviously, it's not at the same range as an AR, for example, and that's the reason why I love the AUG so much. To be honest, guys, I find that when I run an MP7, I very rarely hit all my bullets, so I find it hard to actually drop a player. Now, there's probably people thinking, you know, let's write a comment because he's clearly shit with the MP7, and you're right, I am. I'm not good with the MP7 at all. me personally, the AUG for me is my bae. It's my fucking bae. And I love it. I love it so much. Probably my favourite weapon, as I said, from day one. And I think it will be my favourite weapon, no matter what new guns get added, if any get added at this rate. This will be my favourite weapon. So there you go, guys, the AUG. So, guys, for the last weapon, we are going into the assault rifle category. And we're going to look at the lightweight M4. And I'm going to tell you why I love this weapon so much. Now, I specifically like the lightweight version of the M4, the variant of the M4. I tried the police M4, but the recoil absolutely sucks. And the lightweight M4 is much easier to handle, which, as I said with my AUG, is really important, especially for me on console, where recoil and stability is much easier to, much harder to control than PC, for example. Now, the M4, or the lightweight M4 that I currently have on my character, I used almost exclusively in 1.5, when SMGs weren't viable, really. And I love it. I absolutely love it. I've got used to the recoil pattern, which sort of goes vertically and left to right at the same time. But I love it more than the Lover, because the recoil on the Lover is vertical, straight up, but it's very quick, straight up. And I just can't handle it, guys. I'll be completely honest. It's not for me. So for me, the lightweight, you know, the M4, the actual stability is what wins it, to be honest, because there's no real difference between the lightweight M4, the M4 variant, and the Lover variant, to be honest, guys. So either or, guys, you pick. Now, I'm sure there's a lot of you saying, but the Bullfrog, the FAMAS, is surely that's the strongest assault rifle. And, you know, I've seen a lot of people using it in Last Stand, the Bullfrog. It's a very good weapon, but let me put it this way. The Bullfrog that I have, and I don't believe it's maxed, has, you know, 2,000 less damage than my lightweight M4, but with only 50 RPM extra. I don't think that's very, you know, I don't think the Bullfrog in that respect is stronger. The lightweight M4 has much better range. The recoil is much easier to control than the Bullfrog. And so for me, I don't see how the Bullfrog is even better, you know, is better than, you know, the M4 or the Lover. For any of you guys who think that the Bullfrog is better, it's not. And, you know, I'm sure you guys saying, but run Strikers because it's got stability. But, you know, why should I be forced to use a striker set, just to use that weapon? With the M4, I don't need to do that. So anyway, that rules that out. But as I said, guys, the base damage on this is only a little less than my AUG, but the RPM is 125, you know, plus 125 over more, so it's got much better burst damage. It's only a little bit less than the MP7, but it's got much higher damage. It's got a much bigger magazine as well, so you know you've got a sustain as well. So don't rule it out, guys. The M4 and the Lover is still the strongest weapons in the game for PvP, apart from the Urban MDR. It's still stronger than the SMGs. Now, SMGs have obviously got their critic chance, everyone's on the bandwagon, and, you know, the ARs took a little bit of a nerf due to armor, but they are still the best in the game, guys. So if you haven't been using your AR in Last Stand, then get onto it, because if you can control the recoil, they are the best, and I promise you, you'll be doing a lot better. To sum it up, guys, the Urban MDR is the best weapon in PvE and PvP in the game right now. There's no questions about it. I've looked at the statistics, and I'm sorry I don't have them in this video, but it has better sustain than any LMG in the game, and it has better burst damage than any assault rifle or SMG in the game right now. If you don't have one, then that's very unlucky, but you should definitely grind for one. I believe you can get them from survival caches. Obviously, you can get them from exotic caches as well. We can do legendary missions on a weekly basis. Get on it, guys, because honestly, you're going to see a vast difference in both your PvP statistics and PvE content. You'll be able to get through content a lot quicker. I hope you enjoyed this one, guys. As I said at the start, if we can do 150 likes, that would be amazing. If you are new there and you did like this video, then please do subscribe. It really does help me out. And if you want to hit the notifications button as well, then, you know, you're making sure that you don't miss out on any of my content. Thank you very much for joining me. Thank you for watching. And as always, peace.